This was my first experience getting a job. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Kegan, of course. And in today's video, I'm going to explain and show you guys how I got my very first job. And if you've never had your very first job, you can get one too. So some of you guys that have watched the channel for a while are probably wondering, Kegan, what are you talking about getting your very first job? You get paid on YouTube. Why do you need a job? To be honest, YouTube doesn't pay me a lot. Like, I'm really trying to save up for a house and save up for my future, but YouTube doesn't pay me enough really to do that. So I needed to find a part-time job, bring in more income to save up more. And that's exactly what I did. So I want to go over the whole process with you guys. The application, how nervous I was, and the interview. I can't tell you guys exactly where I work because I really need this job and I don't want you guys to find out the exact location and call the place and just bother them and everything because then I'll get in trouble. But the most I can tell you guys is I work at a really large arts and crafts store. And yes, that kind of sounds lame, but it's a really good job, guys. And they're still giving me time during the week to make YouTube videos for you guys. So I'm honestly really thankful for this company. So the very first thing I want to go over with you guys is the application. There's two ways they may want you to do it. The online version, which it's honestly pretty easy. You just go online, pretty much type in the name of the company, and most of the time you just scroll down to the bottom of the page and it should say careers. That's what I've seen for a lot of them. You just go down, do that, and once you click career, it should be an application process or what jobs you are looking into. Or the second option is the in-person application. Some companies want you to still come in person into their store and grab the application to take home and fill out, or even fill out in their store right then just to give it to them then and be done with it. And when you're filling out the application, whether it's online or in person, don't be nervous. There's really no reason to be nervous when you're filling out the application. You're just telling them about yourself. Your name, most of them, what I've seen, they ask you if you're above 18, because if you're below 18, you can't do certain things in stores, which that's totally understandable. And another thing on the application they'll ask you is your previous work experience, which when you see that and you've never had a first job, that honestly might look pretty intimidating. It did to me when I saw it because I just left it blank. I've never worked for an actual job before. You can either just leave it blank or put NA on every single section that you can't fill out. I don't see a problem with that either. But with my experience and applying to a bunch of jobs, only 2 companies gave me the chance to come in and interview. And yes, that does not seem like a lot, but I was thankful for both companies just for the opportunity. The first company was an absolutely huge grocery store company that's like all around America, I believe. I went in for an interview there and they wanted to pretty much hire me on the spot, but the hours they wanted to give me was pretty much 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. and I don't want to work in the middle of the night. Like, those hours just absolutely suck. Like, I understand it would have been my first job. It would have been a good job for me to get and learn just to get experience, but I had to decline the job just because of the hours. The second store, as you guys already know, is a huge arts and crafts store. Most days I'll be working 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and I honestly love those hours. It gives me time during the day to do whatever I want, like make YouTube videos, go out to garage sales, resell stuff. It gives me a bunch of time during the day to do that. But I'm really just trying to explain to you guys might apply to 10 jobs but only hear back from 2. You might apply to 15 jobs but only hear back from 1. Every job that you apply to, you're not going to hear back from. Some companies just don't reply back to you, and it's really weird why they don't, because it's pretty unprofessional, but some companies just don't reply back. The next thing I want to go over with you guys is the interview process. So the company I applied for, the arts and crafts store, they wanted me to come in and grab the application and go home, fill it out, and then come back into the store, which I did. I had no problem doing that. When I came back into the store, I handed it to the worker and they said, all right, are you open Tuesday at 12? Which that was actually yesterday, because I'm filming this on a Wednesday. And of course I said yes, no problem, I'll be there. So I got ready for the interview. This is the outfit, as you guys can see on the screen next to me, that I wore to the interview. You always want to dress really good when you go in for the interview. First impressions matter a lot. And also I wore a normal black mask with that. I did not wear the It's Kegan mask I have just because I wanted to keep it as professional as possible. But my interview was set for Tuesday at 12, and of course I showed up 15 minutes early. And when I walked in, they were honestly really surprised to see me 15 minutes early. They're like, oh, you're here 15 minutes early. And it's like, yeah. I don't know if they were used to people being late to interviews or what, but they were just really surprised. And that's just another tip for you guys. Never be late to an interview. It's better to be really early than late. But after they were done being surprised, they were trying to figure out who was actually going to give me the interview, the co-manager of the store or the manager. But it ended up being the co-manager of the store. But then we walked up to her office upstairs, which honestly, it was a pretty small office. I was really surprised. But we sat down and she said, just sit here for a minute. I'm going to go print out an interview paper, which didn't make any sense to me at the time. time, but then when she came back in, it was pretty much just a paper with some questions for her to ask me to see if I would fit for the job or not. And since that was my very first job, we got to skip like half the questions. So honestly, that was really nice. But important questions for you guys to think about when you're going out for a job that they asked me is, why do you want to work at the place? What hours are you available? And what do you know about the store? She asked me all three of those questions. And of course, I knew what to answer when she asked me those questions. You know, I can work 4 to 9. Like when she asked me what I knew about the store, it's an arts and crafts store. And of course, then I went on it. Like when she asked me about why I want to work for that store, I told her, you know, the availability, the hours you guys are willing to work with me, you know, just simple stuff, but enough to make you sound pretty smart. But when she got done asking me that whole list of questions, she said, all right, now it's time for you to take the math test. And when I applied for this store, I did not see a spot where I had to take a math test. So I honestly got really nervous because in school, I was not good at math at all. She gave me one piece of paper with the questions on it, and then of course a scrap piece of paper. She said, there's no time limit, take your time, and you have to at least get 8 out of 16 correct, which honestly, that made me pretty nervous because of course I'm not good at math at all. And I'm not sure if every job makes you take a math test. I honestly don't think so. I think it's only certain places that actually make you do that. Most of the questions were like, what's 60% of $3.49? What's 50% off $20? You know, just simple stuff like that. Just a bunch of different math stuff to make sure you actually know the stuff. And not even gonna lie to you guys, I got 9 out of 16 right. Like there were some difficult questions on there that I legit had no idea how to do. But as I was taking the math test, it took me around 20-25 minutes. Like I legit took my time. But as I was taking the test, I looked up a little and I could see her writing my name on the schedule, which that honestly made me feel happy but nervous at the same time because I had to pass the math test to get the job. Like I legit had to pass that then. But when she said I passed, I was extremely happy. Like I almost couldn't believe it. And after that, she said, you know, I think you would be a really good fit for the company and working here. So we would like to offer you a position working here. Pretty much what my job would be is a stocker to stock shelves and a cashier when they need one, which I honestly have no problem with that at all. She honestly seemed really happy to give me the job, which of course she was happy to give me the job. I was happy to get the job. After we shook hands and everything, I told her, you know, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come in and interview me and give me the job, you know, because most other companies didn't give me the opportunity. And she said that's really sad of the other companies, but she was happy to have me on the team now. My first day is actually tomorrow, January the 6th. I start at 12 and get off around 4 or 5. Those won't be my hours every single day. I think the only reason my hours are like that is because it's my first day. They need to show me what's going on, get me in the program and everything. But honestly, my biggest tip to you guys when trying to get a job is just be confident. Like you may not have no work experience at all like me, but when you're confident, that changes how people look at you. Like that changes how everybody looks at you. But that was my story on how I got my first job. If you guys want more of my first experience videos, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Everyone make sure to drop this emoji down in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.